You're muted.
There we go. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We're really excited to have 3 amazing venues with us today. With us is Sally from Sapphire Creek Winery, Natalie from LaPlace, and Meredith with Lander Haven. I'm super excited you guys could join us and just tell us a little bit more about your venues and what you guys are doing now and what plans you have for the future. I'm going to give each of you a second or a moment to talk about your winery, that's only, I have wine on the brain today, Sally, to talk about your venue and just what you guys are doing and everything. So I'm going to start with Sally. She's going to start us off and just talk a little bit about Sapphire Creek.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. Sapphire Creek was established in March of 2018, and we have been hitting the ground running since then. We are a full-service restaurant and event venue, truly bringing the Napa experience here to Northeast Ohio through unrivaled hospitality, fresh, vibrant food, and of course our rich wine selections, which are all done in our Napa winery in Yountville. And I'm thrilled to be a part of the team. We're a one-stop shop for whatever your needs are, whether it be a social gathering, weddings, of course, are what we're known for, and corporate events. So we do a lot of things with corporations for executive retreats and team building, things like that. So your one-stop shop, full service, catering, all of that.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're going to chat with Meredith now from Lander Haven. Hi, Meredith. Meredith, can you hear me?
Hi. We have an in-house. We have an in-house bakery, a full linen department, a floral department. We do both on and off.
Meredith, you're cutting out. We just cut out for a second, so we couldn't hear what you were saying. Probably the last 30 seconds. If you want to try again.
That's located in Mayfield Heights. We can do events anywhere in Northeast Ohio, and we can do
All right. For some reason you keep cutting out, so we're going to come back to you. I'm going to pull up Natalie and let her talk a little bit about LaPlace.
Hear me? Okay. I am Natalie Parks. I'm the owner of LaPlace Events. We're in Akron, Ohio. We are an industrial style venue. New to the area. There's really nothing like it in the Akron area. We have 2 rooms. We can accommodate up to 350 to 400 people. We also offer offsite catering, and we actually are doing have another room that we're actually rehabbing now. It's called the Studio. That will be for smaller events. So come check us out. We're at LaPlace Events in Akron.
Thank you, guys. Meredith, you look like you're moving a little better now. Can we hear you?
Yeah, sorry about that. I rebooted my system.
Okay.
So
well, let's
hopefully
get into some. Yeah, you can hear you perfectly fine now.
Okay.
Awesome. So I'm going to get into a little bit of questions that we have that came in or that just we've seen around. There's common questions that people are wondering and asking right now with everything going on. I know it's a difficult time for everybody in the event industry. Just every day playing it by ear, as we were talking about before. I think we all just hang on till 2 o'clock every day to find out what Governor DeWine says we're allowed to do. So, and it really leaves us in a sticky situation because we don't really know how to advise a lot of couples, but we know what we individually can do with our own businesses to make sure when we are allowed, we can flourish. So just have some questions. I'm going to start with Natalie, and then all three of you guys can answer this. In response to COVID-19, is there anything that the venue will be doing differently?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it's really going to depend on, again, what Mr. DeWine decides, Governor DeWine decides that he's going to impose on us, but just things that we have been thinking about as a team to enforce. Of course, some signage out front, warning labels that will be in our front windows. We've talked to brides about maybe getting a list of families that actually live together and putting them at individual tables, and then having 6 feet for another table with maybe 4 guests at it, if let's say they don't live together. Of course, just the cleanliness aspect of it, clean linens, wiping down, hand sanitizer. We actually have somebody that pumps hand sanitizer at the buffets, and then we serve buffets. So then that way utensils aren't being touched. Another one that I've thought about is just having, and some of this we might tie into with another question, and I'll try to sum it up here, but about bars. So, everybody loves to crush the bar area. Maybe that initial first drink, having the servers go around, get that and serve those, and then tell people just to be mindful of the distancing when they go up to the bar area.
Awesome. Sally?
Sure. So we're in the business of hospitality. So it's always our top priority to provide best possible care to our community and everybody that walks through our doors. So we've always thought about sanitation. Everybody on our team is Serve Safe certified, including servers, bartenders, myself, all of our kitchen staff. So that's always been something that's a priority for us. So that's not really going to change, but what we're going to go back to what we were doing when the government first started putting the orders in place. Everything is socially distanced and physically distanced for when everybody walks into our space, no matter whether we're a restaurant or whether we're doing a wedding venue. Everybody will be abiding by the rules and regulations put forth by the government in terms of face masks, gloves, sanitation, cleanliness. Obviously, we clean before, during, and after. Nobody's going to get a menu. It's all going to be disposable. Nobody gets a straw. There will be all kinds of somewhat, I don't want to say rules, but there's going to be standards for how we do business moving forward. And I think it's really important that we pay attention to those things. And when it comes to weddings, we're being really proactive in terms of what that looks like. And no matter what that number looks like, we have a plan for it. So we don't want any of our weddings to feel concerned about their guests' well-being, our staff being concerned about their well-being. We have so much space, and having that outdoors is really a huge benefit for us right now because we're able to keep people physically distanced, and we have floor plans and new ways of how we're going to hold together the weddings and where people will dance and where the bars will be. So we have a lot of options, and we're ready and poised for whatever that looks like. But cleanliness and sanitation has always been part of our plan. It's just heightened more than ever now.
Nice. Yeah. Meredith?
Yeah, us too at Lander Haven, all of our staff is Serve Safe status, Serve Safe certified. We will be implementing, as things start to open up, that our staff will be wearing masks. We're going to have hand sanitations throughout our building. Now, a little different than we're doing from Natalie's venue is we are not doing buffets to start. We also, for our weddings and for any of our events, we usually will offer complimentary coat check and valet. We are cutting that service just for the time being. I also know we're talking about possibly not doing preset salad or desserts too. So it's food is literally coming out of our kitchen. It's going from our chef's hands right to the guest, and there's no chance of sitting on the table, somebody sitting at a wrong place, maybe moving plates. We're trying to limit as much contact as we have with product. So dessert buffets, those are going to be, we're looking at doing more of a served option for our desserts. And our approach is the less we can touch at something, the better. So, but when we do touch something, everything, it's hand washing, sanitizing, and just trying to do all the common practices that everybody is preaching on us.
Wonderful. I know that
Right. I would add to that too. We're not, buffets are definitely something that we're not doing just because of the sanitation with that, but also no glasswares on the tables. And if they are, it's upside down and we're not the ones that are touching them. Everybody's wearing gloves. So yeah, we've been super mindful of that. These are all things that we put into place when things were happening before the closure. So that's just going to go back to right what it was before.
Right. And that's in like what people don't see on the back end when our staffs are setting up. And I know it's the same for the other venues. All of our servers, they do wear gloves, and it's when they're just normally pre-COVID, they all, just like your staffs all have, like they did wear gloves. We took every precaution, but I think now to make people feel a little bit more comfortable about the situation, that if they can see, yes, we are taking these steps. So it's not only just to, try that it's sat once to the table, but just for our clients to see that we are looking out for their best interest.
Right.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah. I mean, you have to make those precautions. I mean, even on our end, we've removed everything from our vehicles that guests normally would touch, or guests. They, a newspaper, the only thing that our customers get are hand sanitizers that once they leave, they either take it with them or it's getting thrown out when they get out of the car. And that's something that we know to do. I am even at home and I'm sitting and I spray my company car hand sanitizer. So I just use them all the time myself. We joke that we're going to run out before we're allowed to actually have real business again because I use them all the time, but I'm safe. All right.
We have to be safe.
Yeah, you just got to make sure that you're doing what you got to do. So we'll start with Meredith this time. How does your current 2020 wedding season look? When is your first large wedding scheduled for?
Okay. Our current wedding season, we're seeing a lot of our clients either postponing till the end of the year or just moving their events for peace of mind to 2021. Now, we do have our first big event scheduled for June 13th of this year. We're hopeful that it'll happen, but that's a call that's beyond our control. So the client is still holding that date, and we want it to happen. I know they want it to happen, but if it has to be pushed back, we do have a secondary date that we've been working with them on that they're comfortable with. And that's about the best that we could do for our clients, especially with those that have weddings coming up. We don't have the answers. We can try to give you the best scenarios, but I think to really be safe, you're looking at late fall 2021 being a realistic time frame for things to get done. So it's unfortunate, and I feel that we would be doing our clients a huge disservice if we said, yeah, June looks great. Like, we have to be honest with people because we don't know. We find out at 2:00 just like they do.
Agreed. Natalie?
Well, we were pretty booked. I've pretty much moved everything from May, and I have one holding out in June, mid-June, that's hoping to be able to, still have her wedding Again, I agree with Meredith. You know, I mean, we're just trying to work with the couples that we have and reason with them and all of that. And you don't want anything to get to the last minute for them to make even more stress in their life. So pretty much we've moved everything except for that one event in June. And then as of July, everything is still on schedule. I think the 10th of July is our first wedding in July. And we're just kind of, you know, again, holding out to see what actually happens. I was working 6 to 8 weeks out with my brides, you know, to not go too far out because, of course, we're already booking the ones currently into November and December. But you know, we'll make it work and accommodate them as much as we can.
Nice. Sally?
Yeah. So right now, I guess 2020 is still looking fairly full. We're obviously in constant communication with all of our weddings. Our first big wedding was on April 10th, so clearly that didn't happen, and we rescheduled them for later in the year. But we're really happy to report that every single wedding in May, and those that are deciding, even those, we're giving everybody an option. If they want to change their date to 2021 or sometime in a date that we had in 2020, later this year, they are more than welcome to do that. And we feel for everybody in this process. I got married last year, and I'm so grateful that this was not me, because I feel for all of these brides so much. And but we're also seeing that we have a couple June weddings. I'm actually being really hopeful that we're going to get back in business in the beginning of June. And I try to relay that to our weddings, but we're also very realistic that we don't know more than they do. And we're looking and monitoring everything daily, and we just make adjustments day by day. If we can move forward with the end of June, we'll move forward with the end of June. And but what I'm also seeing is as we have dates opening up in June or July, say Saturdays that move to 2021, I'm actually refilling those dates with other weddings that have had venues had to cancel on them or can no longer have their weddings at another space earlier this year. So we're refilling space with some smaller ceremony and receptions in the hopes that they're going to be able to do that with a smaller guest count. So we're kind of just like emptying and refilling as we go. Which is great. So we're just kind of going with the flow. Unfortunately, it's an uncertain time, but we're remaining positive for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we really can do, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't more stress than they're in. So we kind of just, it's a week by week basis, and they know that we'll be in communication with them, and it's their decision at the end of the day. But we are pushing for rescheduling. Nobody is canceled at this point in time, which is great.
Oh, yeah. And it's one of those things, it's, you know, you have to chat or talk with them. And it sounds like everybody is just being open and having those communications on a regular basis that we don't know as much as you do, but we're trying our best and we're accommodating you in the way that we can. We have a wedding in June that we are doing also that has not moved, who's holding out hope, and my heart breaks for them because I'm just like so anxious. Like, what are you going to, like, what happens if we don't get, if it's not okay in June to do that? I have too much anxiety for that. So God love her for holding out. All right, let's see. So let's start with Sally. Do you currently offer or allow small ceremonies and receptions or 10 or less at your property?
Sure, bring it. We'll do it. We have space. It is so beautiful there right now. If you do have to move your date and you still want to get married and you aren't sure what you're going to do, we welcome you. We can do it. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's 7 days in a week, and we can make it happen. We have beautiful spaces and a backdrop for a ceremony, whatever size that might be for your immediate family, that 10, or as your immediate family might be 15. I believe that's allowed. And the flowers are blooming, the stream is running, the trees are budding, everything, you know, the birds are chirping. It's a happy place, beautiful photography. We can definitely serve you wine and have the bar open, and we can just make arrangements for whatever that looks like. So we're open. for that. We are not open for business, but yes.
Yes, you do have is it Sapphire Creek.
Yes to
it's
ceremonies.
absolutely gorgeous. Yes, absolutely stunning. It's one of my
Thank
book
you.
club meets there. I've been there for events. It's wonderful. Meredith, for you.
Thank you so much.
We are not doing small ceremonies at this time. So just because the events that we have booked, they're all larger and they don't fit in the restriction orders. So we are not.
All right, Natalie.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we will accommodate a small ceremony. We have we call it the ceremony room. It's our champagne room. We have it set up for ceremonies most of the time, even during the week. So anybody's welcome to come in and do that. I think we are currently doing micro weddings around $500. Includes a small cake. I think we have an officiant that we work with that's willing to do these events as well within that budget amount. So we will include that in the 500 as well. And we welcome anybody that wants to come in and tour. We're doing tours very limited right now for that. So, but I mean, if they'd make an appointment and it's 2 people and myself and we wear masks, we'll take them around and show them the property.
Nice. So I know this one's a hard one for everybody, and I think that none of us really know at this point. It was what can So when can guests expect to have larger events again? And we don't. None of us know that. We just all kind of wait it out. But when we can, and we all hear, yay, we're allowed to start having large events and people are going out again, what can guests expect once you begin hosting larger weddings again? And I think we talked about that on the COVID, when we talked about what you're doing for COVID. Is there anything else in particular you guys want to note or that you're doing differently or you plan on doing differently moving forward that we didn't speak about on the first one? Natalie, we'll start with you.
Oh, Lord. Well, when I saw that question, I was like, man, I kind of answered a lot of that in the first section. But I mean, I think, again, it just really depends on what we're allowed to do. But I can definitely foresee that it's going to be very busy for all of us once things start to lift. I was kind of, I'm going to just be completely honest here, freaking out for like the first 3 weeks because my phone wasn't ringing. There were no emails coming in. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then all of a sudden, like I had 5 showings in one day, that sporadically, and virtual tours I'm doing. And so people are booking and they're kind of it's like, they're tired of being at home, but at the same point, they're thinking, okay, we might have to accept this new norm. So I can see definitely a change and people are kind of getting back to I don't want to say normal life, but they're trying to get back into the swing of things with life.
Yeah. Sally?
What can people expect when we reopen for wedding season and for restaurant season, I guess? Well, I think we're going to be at our finest. We're going to be stronger than we've ever been. We've really taken this time to redo some things and the back end, but also we have some new spaces to unveil for when we reopen that are gorgeous and are going to allow for some smaller wedding ceremonies and receptions and parties. So that's our new stone terrace. Of course, we have our firefly lights on the Creekside overlook. And, just adjusting to the new normal. We're going to have a ton of outdoor space for outdoor dining, whether that's weddings or restaurant space. We're going to have an opportunity for people to come here and enjoy and feel safe and physically distanced from people. Because of how much outdoor beautiful space that we have, we're kind of going to just recreate an outdoor dining space so nobody has to feel like they're just inside. And we obviously have a couple outdoor bars as well. So we're ready and we're excited and we're going to be stronger than ever. And it's going to look really, really beautiful. And everybody is going to still have the wedding of their dreams, no matter what that looks like. It's going to be the best day ever. I can promise them that.
Awesome. Meredith?
So I think for Lander Haven, what we're going to see is our AV department that we have, because we can provide full AV for any type of event. I see that that's going to be utilized a lot more, that there's going to be people that are going to want to be streaming their events their weddings because there's still going to be this uncertainty and people may not travel to come to a wedding just because of their own personal reasons and precautions. And I think our AV department is really going to shine this year, and we're fully ready to do that. Everything else we kind of talked about, what Lander Haven is changing as far as the buffet, preset coffee, salads, desserts, stations, like those changes that we're making. But I think our AV department, like I said, I think we're just really going to see a big influx of service coming from them.
Nice. Yeah, it's just a lot of changes I think they're going to see across the board from every vendor at their event. Or their wedding. They're going to see everyone is making changes and everyone is moving forward with what our temporary new normal is. That's what I'm calling it, temporary normal. So it's just something that obviously safety is everyone's number one concern, and we want to make sure that they have a wonderful experience, but also are safe. So the big question, I know that there was a lot of brides. Obviously, we lost April. We're losing May. We could lose June. Most June brides are either have rescheduled or looking to reschedule. And there's a lot of panic that there's no Saturdays left in 2020. And brides are wanting to get married in 2020. I'll start with you, Natalie. Do you guys have Saturday weddings open at all for the rest of this year?
I think October 31st is the only guaranteed Saturday that we have. So
Wow. Anyone who really loves Halloween, get on it now.
and it's a cool venue for Halloween. I'm because of all the lighting that we have, but
Yeah. Sally?
Hey, if somebody wants a Saturday, they should take that date. That'd be a fun wedding day.
Yeah,
Who cares? You don't have to get dressed up.
Who doesn't want to go to a great party on Halloween?
Exactly. Free booze on Halloween.
Like everyone's dream. Sally, does Sapphire Creek have anything Saturdays open?
We actually just had one Saturday open up because we had a wedding that rescheduled. So we have Saturday, October 3rd. That is our only Saturday wedding availability for 2020 in the fall.
Okay.
We do have a couple of Fridays. I'm a huge Friday lover of weddings because guess what, you guys, you get a whole nother day. You wake up on Saturday and you have 2 days to celebrate. And if everybody is coming in to celebrate your wedding day, they're going to love that they get to celebrate that whole weekend with you. So a Friday wedding is just as good of an option. And right now with the changing of the times, I'm not sure we can be super picky. There's only so many Saturdays in the fall. And so I say Fridays are awesome. I personally got married on a Friday and it made it so much better because I woke up and I was still able to have a weekend of celebrating. So, and everybody was able to stay longer. But also, it's okay to get married on a Sunday or a Monday or a Tuesday. If you have people coming in from out of town and they're the ones that you want to be there, they're going to be there. So weddings can happen any day of the week. But October 3rd is the date that we have for 2020.
I totally agree about a Friday wedding. You have your rehearsal dinner on Thursday night. Then Saturday you could have a fun brunch or something. And then you just
it was the best.
4 days just all about you and your wedding. Sounds amazing.
Yep. Yep. It was the best. We had the best time. I know a lot of my friends have been Friday weddings, which was partially why we did it, because it just worked out.
Yeah.
So
Meredith, what about Lander Haven? How Saturdays?
So at Lander Haven, because we have the 7 ballrooms, we do have some Saturdays available based on the size of the wedding coming in, that we can do full off-premise catering too. If somebody has a venue, but they've lost their caterer, maybe because of changing dates, and there's some caterers that they can only do 1 or 2 events in one day. And if they're already booked because a client had to move, we can handle that. So if it's off premise, we can definitely do any Saturday you want us. Like, we're there for you. If you're looking to do something at Lander Haven, then that gets a little tricky because it depends on the size of the party. I totally agree with what Sally said. Friday weddings are awesome. What I've seen, I'm one of 5 planners at Lander Haven, and I've seen for my customers that I'm working with, a lot of them are choosing to do a small ceremony on their actual date that they picked, and they've just pushed the reception back. So once they've decided that, okay, we're still going to get married on this date, it doesn't matter, COVID or not, we're still getting married. The rest is just a party, that they are more open to having that reception on a Friday or a Sunday, depending how the holidays fall. So I think that that's like one thing that's been really great about all of this, is this sense of weight has been lifted off of my clients' shoulders, because they're doing what's important to them and they're saying, I do.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's all you can do. And having that sense of relief, like you have the ceremony behind you and you're just going to have a really great party. That sounds great to me.
Who doesn't love a party?
Right. So moving into 2021, what kind of availability you guys still have on 2021 that should people be frantically booking at this point? I know a lot of places have, even before this, started booking for 2021. I receive all of our wedding quotes, obviously, and I get a ton for 2021. When do you think the ideal booking time is for next year, specifically if they want that Saturday wedding? And how are they able to tour your venue at this time? Let's start with Meredith.
With everything going on, I think the sooner the better that you can get dates. As you're looking at these venues, kind of find out what their policies are as far as deposits, if you needed to change a date. Because there are a lot of 2020 brides moving to 2021, those that may not have gotten engaged yet and will be, their 2021 dates are going to be very limited. So I do think before all this, I would tell people, you got time, wait. No, you don't have time. If you want a date, get it, book it, work with your venues, talk with your venues. A lot of people are being pretty understanding, but just find out what the deposits are and what the cancellation policies are. 2021 for us is looking good, but it is filling fast. We have that luxury of being able to do both on and off premise. That makes it a little bit easier for us. But again, even though we have the 7 ballrooms, we can still only fit so many people.
Right. Sally.
So we do have some availability left in 2021. Obviously, some of those summer dates, June, September, October, those are filling up. They're the first to go. But we do have some left. I'd say if you are wanting to have your wedding in 2021 and you want a Saturday, now's the time to book and call us for a tour. Email me. We will schedule something in the next week or so. I'm going to be there for tours. That's fine. But also, as I mentioned, Fridays we have open. And if you want to have a fall wedding, Fridays at Sapphire Creek are just as pretty as a Saturday at Sapphire Creek. So we have availability, but if you are looking, obviously we had a lot of people reschedule, so 2021 filled up quicker than it was, but we did see an uptick in people booking for 2021 earlier this year. It was kind of crazy, and we actually have some asking already for 2022, which is great. But now's the time if you're wanting to do 2021 in one of those more popular dates, June, September, and October. Now is the time to book. I just want to give a plug for our month of November here in Ohio is beautiful. And I feel like everybody has forgotten a little bit how nice and mild November has been these last couple of years. So if you're wanting to have beautiful leaves and everything, things are in our seasons are changing a little bit. So November is also a really beautiful time to have a wedding. If you haven't thought about that, it's the air is crisp, but it's not super cold, and it's beautiful that time of year as well. So fall can still go into mid-November.
Great. Natalie?
Yeah, I mean, we have availability in 2021. I mean, we've got stuff pretty much every month, but we have open availability for Saturdays at this point and Fridays, of course. And yeah, so I agree with Meredith and Sally. I mean, with the way things are going, you don't know if we're going to have to keep moving things out. And if we do, it's automatically going to go to 2021. So if there's anybody newly engaged, then they need to get on that bandwagon, because if they have a date that they are hoping to get or secure in a time frame, and they're not flexible in that, they're going to be very limited as to what would be available at that time.
Right. All right. So let's start with Natalie. We're going to go right back to you. Are you guys currently running any special offers during this time?
Yeah, we are. We are doing, well, I'm a baker by trade, so we offer a free wedding cake right now. And we just reduced our pricing, and made things kind of all inclusive. So like Fridays, we dropped down in price, and it includes our bridal suites, our full service package, and the ceremony room. And then on Sunday, it's even cheaper. So those 2 dates are really great. Of course, Saturdays are still very good for everything that you get, but you have to add the bridal suite to a Saturday package. And then but you still get the free wedding cake. So we are offering that at this point. And as far as tours and everything go, we'll do that virtually, or they can make an appointment. We'll be happy to meet with them in a limited amount of people, maybe 2 people with them.
Nice. I know that, or just going back to it for a second, I know that you also offer offsite catering, correct?
Right, through Natalie's Catering is our offsite.
Okay.
That we handle all the catering at La Place, and then I've had Natalie's Catering for years. So yeah, we do have offsite catering available to someone that maybe has to change venues or just needs a caterer. We're booking all that up, and we do tastings as well. But of course, we're kind of waiting until things lift a little bit, 1st of May.
Right. All right, Sally.
We're not offering any major specials at this point in time. We're fairly booked up at this point, so but we do a lot of special things for all of our booked weddings. So it's a wonderful experience from the moment that you book with us through your wedding day. So right now we're just focusing on communicating with our current weddings and getting together with them for tastings and what does that look like. And we're being really, really flexible and being somewhat creative in what that looks like right now. So stay tuned for what that all looks like, but we're making it work. And we have more offerings basically to our restaurant rather than for weddings at this point in time.
Awesome. Meredith.
Yeah, we are not offering any specials at this time. We still are doing our discounts on our Friday and Sunday weddings. So we have some great pricing there, but when we do our pricing, we're all inclusive. So when we quote you a price, it's going to be your appetizers, your bar, your entrees, your dessert, your cake. It's everything all inclusive in those price. Okay. So not at this time, unless you do a Friday or Sunday.
All right. So we did have a question that came across, and I don't really know if any of us, like we said, could answer it, but so there it is. So Lindsay Murray asked, she's an August 1st bride. What are your thoughts on an August wedding right now? I'll let Sally, you can start.
As of right now, Lauren, we have not had anybody really change their date in August. So personally, I feel like we're going to be okay. I really, really do. But I'm also not the government. So I can't say for certain, but I think that's something that you need to just think about. And if you're feeling really, really nervous, now's the time for you to think about and ask your venue what your options are. If you're wanting to look at your guest count and be realistic, have an A, B, and C tier, depending on what that might look like. If it's a reduction in population or guest attendees, you're going to want to make sure that you have a guest list and you just know immediately who those people are when you hear from the order about what that looks like. So you can move forward with your wedding on that day and know that you're going to have 75 people and who those are, or you're going to have your 150 and who those people are. But if you're really feeling nervous about it, now's the time for you to kind of do your rescheduling. And if not, just move forward, power through, and make sure that your venue is communicating with you. And whoever you're working with, you can bounce some ideas off them as well and see how they're feeling about it.
Nice.
I don't know if that helped at all.
Yeah, no, Sally said it all. We would love to see our August weddings happen. We would love to. Like we're waiting just as much as you are, Lauren. But definitely start thinking about that plan B, because no one holds that crystal ball. We can't tell you. And I think that we would be doing you a disservice as event professionals if we were to sit here and say, yeah, it's going to happen, because we don't know. We want it to happen, but we just don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Natalie, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think they're, hitting it on the head. I mean, we don't have a B plan, figure out that guest list about reducing numbers, talk to your venue to see what their options are. I mean, they could maybe give you I've had brides call me and say, well, I'm not wanting to do anything right now, but what if we need to do it? What's a date? What are your dates available that we can move to? So maybe just even doing that and maybe penciling in a second date if needed at this point, if that's available at that venue or not. And like I said, we work 6 to 8 weeks out. So come June 1st, you'll be 8 weeks out from your date. Hopefully we'll know a little bit more by that time. And if we don't, then definitely start implementing those plans that you've been working on this month.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with
I
all
would kind of like give yourself a little bit of a timeline too, Lauren. I think because when this is something that's so close and emotional for you, it's hard to make that tough decision. But if you say, okay, June 1st, we are making this decision, or Monday after we hear from Governor DeWine about what's next and what's coming up, that's our decision. And Monday night, you're going to sit down with a bottle of wine and you're going to make that decision for yourself. But I think you could just be thinking about this over and over again, and that's not helpful either for your mental state. I think it's just once you come up with and decide what you're going to do, stick with that plan. And whatever that plan is, have your plan B and move forward with it. And if you reschedule, you're going to know that you've got this much more time to plan your wedding. But I think that you just have to pull the Band-Aid off and decide what you're going to do and stick with that decision.
I agree. I think that, and anybody who does have to change or has changed or coming up and you already have rescheduled, on your wedding date or your original scheduled wedding date, do something special. Like, don't forget that date. Don't just schedule something, do something fun, plan like a dinner at home. I saw some stuff where photographers have been doing like rescheduling photo shoots the day of their original wedding. They did like COVID shoots. And there's really fun, creative ideas you can do to document this time in your life, because it's definitely something that you're going to be telling your family about later, how your wedding was moved because no one was supposed to leave their house, or you had masks on to go to the store. So do something special on that date. Don't just let that date pass without acknowledging it.
Agree.
Yeah, and where this does feel very personal to you because this is your wedding, just know that you are part of a community of couples who are facing the same question. So where you can, feel a little sad, angry, confused, just find, some comfort that you're not alone. And, not only are your event professionals here for you, you have other couples that are out there that are in the same boat. Facebook has a lot of really great groups that if you need that support team and you've exhausted your friends and family and they're tired of hearing about your wedding, there are groups upon groups upon groups of couples that are getting married that will be your cheerleaders and sit there and cry with you. So do what you need to do to keep your sanity.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And reach out to your venue.
It'll be okay. It will all be okay.
It totally
Regardless
will be okay.
of what you do, it'll all be okay. I promise.
Absolutely.
Your day will be great.
And people will be so excited to celebrate when you do have your wedding, that because they're able to celebrate again, that it's just going to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have a few individualized questions for each place. So I'm going to start with Sally. So we are going to come back to you, Natalie and Meredith. And so we're going to learn a little bit more about Sapphire Creek. So
Sure.
Obviously you guys are a winery. So do you guys have any plans for any new varietal coming out this year with the wine?
We do, which is really exciting. So we actually, I had a Zoom call with our winemaker a couple weeks ago. So we were discussing some things, but we are going to come out for all of those Ohioans that like a little bit of a sweeter wine. Even though we're a Napa winery, we are going to be coming out with a Moscato here in the next couple months. So we're really excited to unveil that. And also introducing probably another rosé. So we have right now 8 varietals that are all lovely and play to everybody's palates. We have 3 reserves, a reserve cab, a reserve Pinot Noir, and another Pinot Noir from the Anderson Valley that's a reserve, and then our sparkling cuvee, which is amazing. So we're going to add 2 more to that, hopefully in the next, 6 months, and stay tuned. Nice. But we're excited. Moscato will be up first, I believe.
I'm a super big fan of that.
Are you?
So,
yay!
Yes.
I'll make sure you get a bottle.
Nice. So you also are a restaurant. So are you guys currently offering carry-out, delivery, or anything right now?
We sure are. So we're doing carry-out, curbside service, prepay, so we're not exchanging any money or cards. But we have a beautiful menu that we decided to go a little bit off what you're normally seeing, because I'm sure you can go and get your Italian and your burgers from your local favorite pub and all of that. But we have a little bit of a plays to your other palates that you want, and especially if you're wanting to look for a date night or whatever. But we've got some whole roast chicken, which is beautiful for your family. We're serving ramen right now. We have a beautiful niçoise salad. Prime rib that you have to order on Wednesdays, but we have that available for the weekends, which is amazing, and it serves 4. So we've got a variety of carry-out items that people have really been taking advantage of. So we're really appreciative of everybody's support. We also have Bloody Mary kits, which are super fun to get, especially if you don't want to get all the fixins for the weekend. We have our super yummy Sapphire Creek Bold Bloody Mary mix. And then some cheese and charcuterie with our wine. So there's options. Just go visit our website or our social media outlets and you'll see our menu.
I did not know about this Bloody Mary kit. I'm going to be telling everyone that I know who loves Bloody Mary. So that's awesome.
It's a great option for Mother's Day too. So stay tuned, but we'll have the Bloody Mary kits for Mother's Day for sure. And we're working on some other things, but we'll let you know.
Oh my goodness. I'm about to tag someone in our own post at Melissa Halter Bloody Mary Kids. So
I'll make sure you get one.
Awesome. Are you guys doing any sort of specials? I mean, outside on the restaurant, like besides the different kits and everything that you're offering, or dinners? Are there like anything special else you want to talk about what your carry out? Oh, you guys do a trivia.
We of course do carry out wine. I mean, we're not going to run out of wine. We're a winery. So we do discounts on 6 and 12 bottles. You can do a mixed case and get a discount there. Just call us and let us know what we want, and we'll have it ready for you. As far as other specials, we kind of just change things up weekly right now. We've stuck with the same menu right now for a little while. We're kind of just also waiting to see what's happening, but remaining consistent with our menu because it's been going pretty well. And nothing other else to report. We're just, trying to stay in the game like everybody else.
Yeah. You guys do, you guys did the red wine blend for our Easter baskets. The adult baskets that we did were a huge hit.
Yes.
And we have our wine tasting, virtual wine tasting we're doing with you guys in 2 other places this Friday that I'm excited about. So definitely, and then you guys do like your own virtual events during the week. Do you still doing those, like a virtual? I saw you guys are doing something
A
like
virtual bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really, really great turnout, and we've done that. I think it looks like maybe I'll do it again next week. I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm ready to get back into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever we do, no matter what it is, we will always have a virtual element moving forward because I think that's the new normal.
Agreed.
For right now. So stay tuned, but you'll know on our Facebook page what upcoming events we have. Lots of things in store for when we do reopen.
Nice. So do your guys' space, do you have more than one wedding ever at a time, or is it just, do you have different spaces for weddings, or how does that kind of set up?
We can. So typically weddings that are larger and rent the entire venue, they are exclusive to the venue. So we, as many Saturdays, for instance, that we have coming up, they all rented the entire space. So they have the entire venue for the day from 10 a.m. until midnight, until their wedding day is over. But absolutely, we do have more than one wedding, especially with the pandemic going on right now and what it's done to our industry, and people are having smaller weddings. We have the ability to have a couple weddings on site. So we have 2 different areas that we can accommodate smaller weddings. We have our Stone Terrace and the Cellar Lounge, and then we have our Woodlands Pavilion and the Lawn, which are beautiful spaces, both amazing backdrops for a beautiful ceremony and a reception.
Nice. Well, thank you. I'm going to go over and talk to Meredith at Landerhaven. Well,
Hello.
hi, Meredith.
Hi.
So I think
So I've never been to Sapphire Creek. Sally has me I need to get my wine fix on. So Sally, I'm gonna come and see you, girl.
It's great. If you said you've never been there, you should. It's wonderful, especially when we're allowed to enjoy being at restaurants.
I've never been there because I live.
Oh no, you're cutting out again. How come when you just have, maybe we need to bring other people back with you. For some reason, you only cut out when you're all by yourself. Hold on. Let me see. We're just going to pop the other 2 in here and see if this helps with your stream. All right. Try now, Meredith. No, she's frozen. All right, Meredith, we're going to Natalie. We'll be back to you in a second. And
There you go.
hey, Natalie.
Hello.
So, just kind of jumping in. I'm going to ask you first because I think I know the answer to the one question, and we're just going to see if I'm right. So, what was the last wedding you held before everything kind of got shut down? And did you already begin doing anything special at that time to ease fears to combat COVID?
Yes, she's a dear friend of ours, so she's in the business. I won't say her name just in case, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So we had 100. It was 130 people wedding. March 14th was the date, and it was beautiful. Yeah, there was a lot of fear. She was freaking out that week thinking that she couldn't have it. And just fortunately, it wasn't that weekend that he made that change to the numbers. So she was still able to have her wedding. But yeah, we were doing all the things that I kind of mentioned before. I think that's where we started. We primarily do a buffet service, even when we do my Natalie's catering and at La Place. Not that we can't do plated. At La Place, we can. So I guess I'll leave that up to the bride. I mean, ultimately, let me kind of refresh going back to that because it was kind of kind of deemed like, oh, that might not be safe. We have the Schaefers that have the roll top. We could easily put that towards the customer as they're coming through the line, make sure there's not a lot of people in the line, that they're socially distant, that kind of a things. And that way that if they did cough or anything, that lid is there in front of them instead of the food. So that's kind of what I would maybe perceive our process would be at the weddings and so forth. But yeah, so we had somebody pumping hand sanitizer. They weren't touching utensils. Our people were serving that buffet. We were wiping down continuously after the event. We sprayed all the chairs with disinfectant. And so we're just kind of trying to implement as much as we can to make sure that it's clean and safe, because we don't want anybody to get sick. Definitely don't want them to get sick at our place. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to accommodate that.
As someone who was at that wedding, I agree. You guys did a wonderful job. And
Thank you.
you let us know not only when we could go up, but like when we were allowed to move to the next station, and there was hand sanitizer. Like, I definitely, at the beginning of this, going into it, and I think that date, it kind of, like that week, it started to get a little bit more real for us, and the numbers, and there was questions of, should I go, should I not go, because of everything going on. And you definitely did a wonderful job. Ease my tears.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Over a month later, and I'm still healthy from it, so I'm good.
So are we. We didn't, fortunately, none of us got sick.
Right. So I know that you host a lot of bridal shows at your location. When do you think bridal shows are going to start coming back?
Oh gosh, I really think they're very popular in the fall of the year, and then of course around January. And so I'm really praying that come the fall, things have been lifted and are better. With this, they keep saying that there's going to be, like, it will get better, and then there could be another spike. So good Lord, January is always the worst month. Everybody's after the holidays getting around each other, and then they all get sick. And so, I'm not really for sure. I know that one of the groups that I work with bridal shows are planning to do a few in the fall, not necessarily with us. And then I was looking to reach out to them for January. So, we will of course put that on the books. And if for some reason we can't do it, then everybody just on social media and all the outlets that we go to for information like that would need to be up to date on that and go to those sites to see.
Nice. So I know you, like you said, you do offsite catering. Are you guys is that something you're currently offering, like carry out, or are you doing Mother's Day specials or anything like that?
Yeah, we are strictly a catering company. I'm not a restaurant, so we don't have anybody coming in to get anything on a regular basis. And with that, it kind of makes it not really beneficial for us to do those kind of special things, like, okay, for Mother's Day, we're going to have a meal, because people just are not used to coming to us for that kind of a thing. But what I do with the catering, that I will say, is we do a lot of corporate catering with box lunches. We used to do platter lunches. Now we're saying, let's do the box lunch. We'll put your name on it. It's got an individual sandwich in it, so nobody's touching your stuff. And that has been very successful. So we've been doing that for the last month and advertising that, especially on our Natalie's catering website and Facebook page. So, we continue and I look forward to continuing to do that while this stuff is going on. Nice.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing right now. Everybody is not touching another person, like just making sure that we're social distancing, and what you're touching, they're not touching, and that kind of keeping everybody pretty safe. And all the hand, I've never used hand sanitizer so much in my entire life.
I know. I think my steering wheel is going to turn a different color because I keep watching it, and then I'll swipe it on there just to make sure, like, I don't touch a bad part of the steering wheel.
Like, somebody made a joke or posted a meme online that was like, "Did you live through COVID-19 and you used hand sanitizer a whole bunch? Like, like 20 years from now, we're going to be like watching commercials. Like, did you use too much hand sanitizer in 2020? And that'll be me.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, thank you. I'm going to pop over to Meredith. I can see her. Hopefully we get her questions. Hey.
We're gonna fingers crossed this works.
Yay! So what I was asking was, how many? I think you answered. So you have 7 ballrooms. Or how many weddings can you take place at Lander Haven at once?
Week 7.
7. You
Mhm.
guys have like the largest parking lot, so
We do, yeah. And it's, with the parking lot being really big, we have the 2 tented patios, then we have the untented patio. So we have got space upon space upon space. So we can do indoor and outdoor ceremonies.
nice. So I know that you guys are obviously, and I think everybody is not just weddings, but you did a lot of corporate events and a lot of special events, proms and stuff like that. Um, do you see a lot of them rescheduling for later in the fall too, and
For
if so, does that interfere with anything wedding wise?
you want to know, we have seen like a lot of our corporate events moving to the fall. A lot of our fall events, like they're starting to get like a little, ooh, maybe we should do this. And where they have moved to 2021, as soon as that space opens, there's some corporate event coming right behind them and taking that space. So we haven't lost any momentum in our fall. And there's several dates that we are at max capacity. Like we cannot take any more events. And that's a really great problem to have. Proms, we do a ton of proms at Lander Haven. Now we do see our proms moving to July and August. So most of our things have moved. There's a couple of things that have a timestamp on them that have canceled, like birthday parties, baby showers. We did a lot of after funerals at Lander Haven. That business has gone down for us because it's not something that's planned in advance. So I would say if there's any events that we've lost that I've seen a big impact on, it's those types of events. But everybody else is kind of just not canceling, but they're postponing. So, and we're not giving, if somebody wants to postpone their event, we're just transferring everything to their new date, so they don't have any penalties as far as losing deposits or changing dates. We're keeping everything the same but the date. Nina? So, that's all I got on that. So I know that I lost Nina because she just texted me. The next question that she's going to be asking, Lander Haven has been around for a very long time. We've been around for 65 years. Where I was not in the event industry during 9/11, she wanted me to compare how 9/11 is to this. So I reached out to those that did work at Lander Haven at the time, and they said that this is much worse. Travel and events were cut during 9/11, but there wasn't this fear, and nobody was quarantined during that time. They did see a lot of cancellations, but it wasn't, the quarantine is really hurting things within our industry. It did take a couple of years for them to see a rebound from the events of 9/11. So I think we are going to see that it's going to take a little bit of time for our industry to come back from this. We're all in this together, and just know that you're not alone. So I really am grateful to be sitting on the panel tonight. Sally and Natalie have given me a lot of great ideas that I can go back to my clients and talk to them about. So thank you, Nina, for putting this together.
I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone. I got completely kicked out. Thank you, Meredith, for improvising for me while I got kicked out of there. So I bring everyone back. Thank you guys so much. If there's anything
Yeah,
else you
sorry
guys
about that. I was like, she's gone.
No, I got this. So yeah, just if there's anything you guys want to add, please take a minute to add it. I was like struggling to restart my computer. It completely just froze on me. So let's start with Sally. Do you have anything to add? I think you're muted. Hold on. Yeah, you're muted, Sally. It needs you to unmute it.
Sorry.
Okay. Anything you want to
Do I
add?
have anything to add? I don't. I hope that everybody learned a little bit today. And if not, please feel free to email any of us. I'm always open to giving advice, even if you're not one of our weddings. I've been in this industry for a very long time, so I'm happy to help out with anybody that might need it or wants advice or just to chat some things out in terms of what your guest list looks like. That's a tongue twister at 9:09 in the evening. But no matter what, we'd love to have you at Sapphire Creek. As Nina mentioned, celebrate your day, even if it's not your actual wedding day. You can still have that on your calendar as the day that it was going to be. Come to Sapphire Creek, have some cuvee, let us know that you are celebrating your non-wedding wedding. Get some pictures at our beautiful space and create a memory no matter what. Your wedding is still going to be gorgeous, and it is about the wedding, not necessarily about the reception. And I think that sometimes is forgotten because you can still get married, and you can always just delay your wedding reception and the party. So there's always room.
Nice.
Next year.
And what is your guys' website in case anybody needs to come find you?
Sure. www.sapphire- like a hyphen creek.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Sapphire Creek Winery. We're also on Twitter and LinkedIn.
Awesome. And Meredith,
Hi, me.
anything else you'd like to add,
Hi.
and how do they find you?
No, you can find us on Instagram and on Facebook at either Executive Caterers or at Landerhaven websites. You can do www.executivecaterers.com or www.landerhaven.com. And that's how you get a hold of us. So I'm Meredith. I'm one of 5 planners. So we are all a team and we're here to help you.
Awesome. Natalie?
Yeah, so you can definitely find us at laplaceevents.com, and then nataliecatering.com is the catering website for offsite events. And again, we're here, we would love to host your event or help you plan your event, whatever you need assistance with. And if you have any questions, again, like Sally, I've been in the industry for over 10 years and have a lot of experience in both catering and event planning. So happy to help you any way we can.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And thank you everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions for them, you can always send it also through our company car our Facebook, this is on, and we will get them over to them. And thank you again for joining. And I look forward to seeing all of you hopefully soon when we can actually celebrate and go to all of your venues and have fun. So,
Please
thanks everyone.
Thank you, Nina, for putting this
Thanks
together.
for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. This was nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.